If you decided to betray Kuro, you're going to be facing Emma and Isshin Ashina in this battle. The strategy for Emma is to be aggressive and build her posture as quickly as possible because you don't need to deal much vitality damage in order to fill her bar. You want to be on the lookout for the attack where she puts her sword away and it glints. You want to get behind her when this happens in order to hit her in the back a few times. She also has 3 perilous attacks you want to keep an eye out for: her grab, her thrust, and her sweep attack. You can punish the thrust and sweep attack, and you can dodge out of the way of the grab. Try and stay near her at all times if you can, and you want to swing until she deflects and then deflect. You don't want to stop swinging. The idea is just keep swinging away and force her to build her posture quickly. When you fight Isshin in the next phase, things are a bit different than they were in Emma, and you're not going to be able to be very aggressive at all. Usually you're going to swing once, which will miss, and then he'll counterattack, and you'll need to deflect these, and then read his move and punish it. Sometimes he'll put his sword high over his head and he'll do forward chopping attacks, and you need to wait till the last second and then dodge left, wait a second, and then attack a couple of times. Other times he'll sheath his sword and it'll have a glint, and what you need to do here is dodge left and then dodge left again after a second, and then hit him in the back. You also want to be on the lookout for his grab attack and dodge out of the way so that you don't take a lot of damage. The strategy for phase 1 is really quite simple. You're going to prompt a response by swinging once and once only, and then deflecting until he does something that allows you to dodge and punish. One particular note about Phase 1 and Phase 2 is that you want to keep him near the center of the room if possible. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered, but when you start getting into the corners or sides of the room, you can't get behind him very easily, and it starts prompting erratic responses, which makes it very hard to predict what's going to happen or get out of the way even if you do. When the last phase starts, he'll start growling, and you're going to want to use a firecracker on him immediately to prevent him from turning the whole room into flame and to hitting with several attacks. The strategy here is very much the same. You're going to want to bait him into doing something that you can punish. However, there are a couple things you need to look out for. The first thing is the overhead slash. You're going to want to dodge left and then dodge left again and then deflect and then move in and punish. You want to deflect after the second dodge because sometimes the back of his sword will clip you even when you're standing at a 90-degree angle to it, and it's very hard to calculate exactly where it's going to hit. The next thing you need to look out for is when he stomps the ground and flames come up and then he shoots them at you. It's very simple to dodge this. You're just going to jump left or jump right. It takes no effort whatsoever. And you're going to have to do this a few times because you're going to need to back up to keep him in the center of the room. And when you do so, he has a tendency to do this attack. The most important thing you need to look out for here is after you hit him once, sometimes he'll crouch down and then do a slash followed by a perilous attack that shoots flame out in front of him. The best way to handle this is when you see him crouch down, jump away, and then jump over the fire after it's been cast and get in and punish him. Now you don't want to try and do a counter here because that first slash he does will hit you, so it's better to jump away and then jump back in. This attack he does has poise, which means he'll do this attack no matter whether you attack him or not, and it is the whole reason you cannot spam R1 during this fight. If you spam R1, you're going to get clipped by this attack, and it'll all but one-shot you. That means you need to strike once and see what he's going to do, and then strike again if you can, and if not, get the hell out of the way. Lastly, if at any point during the fight you see him do the growl again and wind up like he's going to set the room on fire, use the Shinobi Firecracker to interrupt him again. You do not want him to do this attack at all during this fight because it's very hard to control.
Sekiro よってやれぬか。